You're watching the Political Stock Exchange. Let's dive straight into the numbers on who is the best leader for your region. And this is very interesting because we'll take it one by one. Let's take a look at the figures for Chandrababu Naidu. 28% in Seemandhra and only 9% in Telangana think Chandrababu Naidu is the best leader for their region. Clearly his popularity more in Seemandhra than in Telangana. Whereas for Jagan Reddy, a whopping 51% of the respondents believe he is the best leader for Seemandhra. His popularity much lesser in Telangana, only at 10%. Whereas when it comes to K. Chandrasekhar Rao, 49% of the respondents think he is the best man to develop their region. Let's come to the next graphic that we are putting out tonight. This is about who has been the best Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in the recent past. 31% say it is Chandrababu Naidu in Seemandhra, 24% say it's Chandrababu Naidu in Telangana. But this is the most crucial thing. Now remember, Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy comes from Kadapa in Telangana, in Seemandhra, but his popularity is actually more in Telangana. 60% feel in Telangana that he is the best man who's been Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in the recent past. He has huge popularity in Seemandhra as well. But what this shows is, if he'd been alive, there probably would never have been, we would not have seen what happened today. There would have been no Telangana because he was popular more in Telangana and he really killed the movement while he was around, didn't let it flower at all. K. Rosaiya, of course, a disaster both in Seemandhra and in Telangana. Then there is Kiran Reddy, again with abysmally low popularity in both those parts. Let's now come to the next graphic, because this is what this shows, that YSR Reddy popular both in Telangana and in Seemandhra. Who's the best man to be Prime Minister? And this is again very interesting. I'm sure GVL Narasimha Rao is thrilled and jumping already, because 50% in Seemandhra and 50% in Telangana, that is equal to all the other respondents together, believe Modi is the best man to be India's Prime Minister. This in a state where the BJP is not particularly strong. Will this impact voter preference? We'll come to that separately. Rahul Gandhi, 15% of the respondents in Seemandhra, 18% in Telangana think he is the best man to be India's Prime Minister. Let's come to the next leader, which is Manmohan Singh. 4% in Seemandhra, 4% in Telangana. He's not lighting up either of these two regions on fire. Then there is Sonia Gandhi, 3% in Seemandhra, 6% in Telangana, 5% if we just put it out to the closest whole number. Then you've got, and this is interesting, Kejriwal, not very substantial of course, 2% in Seemandhra, 3% in Telangana think he's the best man to be PM, but that is more than Chandrababu Naidu. 1% in Seemandhra, 1% in Telangana. But this is the big story here. 50% of the respondents, both in Seemandhra and in Telangana, believe that Narendra Modi is the best man to be India's Prime Minister. And I'm not going to give GVL the first opportunity on that question because he'll be jumping up and around. But I want Ashok Lahiri to explain these figures to our viewers. This doesn't translate into vote share for the BJP, which we'll put out next. But Modi's popularity to be Prime Minister, what does this mean to you, sir?
See, BJP, as we discussed earlier, Mr. Modi seems to be above everyone else in terms of popularity as a Prime Minister's candidate. But Mr. Modi is not the candidate in every constituency. There is a face, there is a name, there is a candidate. So how it will translate? There is a positive correlation, but I don't think it's going to be a decisive factor. 50% for Mr. Modi doesn't mean 50% votes. But you can look at the negative side, as we discussed. For the Congress, firstly, with 2/3 of the people of Seemandhra saying they're responsible for the bifurcation, for the liquidation of Vishal Andhra. And then Mr. Rahul Gandhi, acceptability as a candidate for Prime Minister, only 15 to 17%. And the Congress actually imploding. Kiran Reddy leaving with, as you said, pepper spray, Mr. Lagadapati leaving also, Rajgopal. Then you have Jagan Reddy. So the question is, I think BJP, we can get into details about it. BJP has never been a major force, but Congress, it seems, is going to have a major problem in Seemandhra.
No, but GVL, what do you make of Modi's high popularity? Before you answer, you must also acknowledge that this doesn't translate into vote share, because if it did, you would have been sweeping both Telangana and Seemandhra. You would have got all the 42 seats there.
Yeah, obviously not all the popularity translates into electoral support, but the reason for that is in areas like Seemandhra, the BJP did not have a strong organizational base. But in '98, I would like to jog your memory, BJP really rode the popularity of Atalji as the prime ministerial candidate, and we polled 18% votes on our own. But today, an interesting development is the Congress party, which is the strongest entity in Seemandhra, is virtually wiped out, and their organization has crumbled. So I see a great opportunity, and then there are a lot of leaders of Congress party who have become orphans today, and they are quitting politics not because of what happened in Parliament, because they think Congress, they do it because they think Congress is an untouchable.
Yeah, that's a direct pot shot at Mr. Rajgopal. You must respond. The charge against you, Mr. Rajgopal, is that you are quitting because you know you can't win on a Congress ticket. This is not some inner conscience which is speaking out. No, you know that you can't win in Seemandhra, and therefore you are quitting, sir. How do you respond?
And one additional question, and is the BJP an option for you?
I announced this in 2009.
No, Rajgopal, is the BJP an option for you?
In 2009, I did announce that I am not taking up the issue of unity for my political cause or for my political popularity. Whenever the state is divided, I'll quit politics. This is the word I gave in 2009, and accordingly I'm sticking to now. So all this, what all I did, I didn't do it for political future. I really felt the unity of Andhra Pradesh, the unity of Telugu people is good for not only the Andhra Pradesh people or Telugu people, for India also. Because I felt the division of Andhra Pradesh got far-reaching repercussions of various other states.
Actually,
I always say the first Indian, next Telugu person.
Dr. Vivek wants to counter what you're saying. One by one, Dr. Vivek.
Yeah, first of all, both Mr. Lagadapadi Rajgopal and Mr. Kiran Reddy, both of them destroyed the Congress party in both the regions. Had they accepted the division which was part of the agenda of the Congress party, today Congress party would have been live and kicking in Seemandhra, because they got a good package. They could have showcased the good package which they got, and Congress would have benefited in both the regions. But because of their opposition for Telangana, a lot of people like us who were wanting the Congress party to implement its agenda of Telangana, we were forced to move out, because these guys were giving all wrong information to the Delhi and trying to scuttle our agitation, where more than 1,500 people have sacrificed their lives.
Mr. Hanumantrao, I have a question for you. Javed Ansari here. What has the Congress gained?
I have actually broken the good bonding with both
my question is to Mr. Hanumantrao. Hanumantrao ji, what has the Congress party gained? Jagan Mohan Reddy has wiped you out of Andhra Pradesh, and you are second best to TRS in Telangana.
You see that Jagan Mohan Reddy is nothing to do in Telangana. Only his aspirations in Rayalaseema, Andhra. That also alone, today is the situation day by day. When he was in jail, there is a little bit popularity was there. After coming from jail, one by one is left him from his party also. I have seen many people who was very close associate, they are also coming from out. Why? Because of his attitude, is a dictatorship, and moreover is a feeling. And the dictatorship people are coming out, and I don't think during this election most of the people they will come out, because his name, only in the name of his father, he is running his show. Everybody was, father is different, son is different.
Okay.
His activity also, everybody knows how he was earned money, how he has looted, how many people's lands he has taken. Everybody knows. For only his father's sympathy, and he has spent a lot of money, people are going in the meeting. For that purpose, most of the people, one fellow is recently, that Ramakrishna Raju or something from West Godavari, he was very close associate, and he left from Jagan party, he joined with BJP. Along with Krishna Reddy, he came to Delhi, he met Rajnath Singh. He is given another Mariappa.
Okay. Yes, Sudhir, I want to understand from you, why is it that Jagan Reddy is restricted only to Seemandhra? We've seen with the figures for his father, who was more popular in Telangana than he was in Seemandhra, but the YSR Congress, despite what Jagan says in interviews that you and I have done, is essentially just a Seemandhra party. Sudhir.
Well, Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy, when he was alive, despite the alliance with the Telangana Rashtra Samiti in the 2004 elections, was a better political manager. During his years as Chief Minister between 2004 and 2009, he managed to essentially ensure that the Telangana agitation did not get out of hand. In contrast, Jagan Mohan Reddy, especially after the 30th July decision by the Congress Working Committee, decided that he needs to put his eggs in the Seemandhra basket because that's where his political fortunes essentially will lie. So in essence, Jagan probably was the first one of the blocks to ensure to talk about the United Andhra Pradesh slogan, but actually in effect focusing on the 13 districts of the Seemandhra region. We saw as soon as he had taken that decision, most of his people in the Telangana unit of Andhra Pradesh actually vanished. So in a sense, he had been reduced to a zero in Telangana region, but while he becoming very popular in the Seemandhra region. Okay. So at the moment, as the figures show, Jagan Mohan Reddy's popularity pretty high in the Seemandhra region, but as far as Telangana is concerned, he would find it very difficult, though he has been maintaining that he would tour Telangana, he would canvass in Telangana. Essentially is hoping that in the regions like around Hyderabad, where there is a large settler population of people from the Seemandhra region, he could make some kind of an impact.
Okay, I need to head into a break. When we come back at the top of 10 p.m, we will get you the figures for the seat share and the vote share. The operative part of the India Today Group See Voter Battleground Andhra Pradesh opinion poll. You're watching the Political Stock Exchange and we'll be projecting the See Voter. Let's focus on the operative part of the Battleground Andhra Pradesh India Today Group See Voter opinion poll. Now we're projecting the See Voter vote share percentages first with Seemandhra, and the big thing to look out for is that Jagan Reddy's party YSR expected to bag almost 48% of the vote share in Seemandhra. Giving it a tough fight is the Telugu Desam party of Chandrababu Naidu with 30% of the vote share, but clearly YSR Congress heads and shoulders ahead of all the other parties. The other big story there, the Congress down to 10%. Remember, this is the area where they picked up 20 seats last time. Just 10% vote share percentages being projected for the Congress this time. That can't bode very well for the Congress at all. This is Seemandhra. Let's now take a look at the vote share percentages for Telangana. Here it is. The Congress again only at 10%. The BJP not doing particularly badly because they're the number 2 party in Telangana at 19% of the vote share. The TDP comes in with 15%. YSR Congress, as I said earlier, mostly seen only as a Seemandhra party with 5% of the vote share. But the big gainer, the big story in Telangana is that 42% of the voters who we polled in this poll say they will vote for K. Chandrasekhar Rao. 42%, which essentially means that he doesn't need an alliance or a merger with the Congress. He can win on his own steam. Things could change. Take a look at this. If the BJP and the TDP were to tie up, that would become 34% of the vote share. Just adding these up, electoral arithmetic is of course more complicated, but this could be 34, in which case the BJP and the TDP together on several seats could give the TRS a tough fight, forcing it to consider an alliance or a merger with the Congress. But as things stand, when this poll was conducted on the 18th, 19th of February, the TRS with 42% of the vote share. What does this mean when it comes to seat shares? We'll start with Seemandhra, and this is the Political Stock Exchange. Just bring the camera in a little closer so we can track this. As I said, in Seemandhra, out of the 33 seats that the Congress got, they got 20 in Seemandhra. Just look at how it's coming down. This is January 2013, the Mood of the Nation opinion poll done by See Voter. This is January 2014, from 5 to 4. And in just 1 month in Seemandhra, the Congress's projected tally slated to crash from 4 to 1. All the way from 20 in 2009 down to 1 in February 2014. That's the Congress's story for you. The big gainer, the YSR Congress, which of course didn't exist in 2009. But look at how their seat share percentages are going up to 11 last year, 13 in January 2014. There's literally been a collapse for the Congress over the last few weeks. 18 being projected for the YSR Congress out of the seats of Seemandhra, which are 25. So The other story, of course, is the TDP, which picked up 5 seats last time, now expected to pick up 6. Let's now come to Telangana. Now, this again is very interesting because the Congress, which had 13 seats in this area, crashed to 5 last year, came down to 3 in January 2014, now coming down to 1 solitary seat in Telangana. This for a party that went out of its way to push Telangana through despite all odds, expected to crash from 13 to 1. The biggest gainer is the TRS going up from 2 seats to 14. They've held their own, they've gathered momentum and now undisputedly way ahead of the others. Then there's Assuddin Owaisi's AIMIM, which is held on to its seat share. They're picking up still the Hyderabad seat, so there's no impact over there. Telangana or no Telangana, he's holding on to his core vote bank. What about Modi in Telangana? We saw, and this is interesting, 50% of the respondents say that they thought Modi was the best man to be PM, but the seat share for the BJP by itself is only 1. They had none last time. This time they expected to pick up only 1. So that popularity of Modi not translating into seats. On this note, let me go back to my panel, starting with Ashok Lahiri, and get his sense of the vote share and seat share numbers for Seemandhra and Telangana, sir.
As is consistent with what we were discussing before, as I said, the maximum swing that you've seen for the Congress, away from the Congress, is 14.5% between 1980 and 84. Remember, in 2009, Congress got almost 39% of the votes. Now what it is showing, from 39, it's coming down to 10. It's absolutely dramatic. Such a large swing away. And Congress is getting decimated. Now let me finish with Congress in Telangana. In Telangana, the question how Congress will do in the 17 seats will depend on whether the Congress can manage to have an alliance with Telangana Rashtra Samiti or TRS merges with the Congress.
But they don't need to. If you just look at their vote share, they have enough vote share, 42%, to be able to win by themselves. Why would they want to tie up with the Congress now that they see
the reason is together there will be some synergy. See, the numbers suggest that together the Congress and TRS can win 14 of the 17 seats. If they fight separately,
they could win all 17.
No, but we spoke to a very senior minister, Javed, and he said that, you know, the TRS has led the cause, but their organization and their structure is essentially that of the Congress. That's what the Congress believes. Speak to a TRS leader, he doesn't have that opinion. And if you see these numbers, there's actually no reason for the TRS now to tie up with the Congress. They don't need to do it, they'll win on their own.
But since speaking of ministers and leaders, I interviewed the TRS chief yesterday. And while he's non-committal as far as the merger is concerned, he's certainly talking in terms of an alliance. And he won't commit to the number of seats. He says, but in this election, there is no doubt that Congress was instrumental in the creation, and we will have an alliance.
Sangvi, what do you think? Or do you think he'll turn around and say, I don't need the Congress? Now I'm winning on my own.
No, he's in a position to say that, judging by these figures. But he's got, what, 42? And the figure you should be looking at is the BJP plus TDP. If you look at that, that's about what, 34, 35%? So then his lead doesn't seem so impressive. If he's got the 10% Congress vote, he's unassailable. He'll sweep the state.
No, and
so electorally, it still makes sense.
Because it's also the financial clout that the Congress would add to that ticket if the TRS were together. As a small party, he doesn't have the party.
So if you have that triple alliance, then
GVL, I don't know what you want to say, but the question that you need to answer is that 50% prime ministerial popularity of Modi gives you 1 seat in Telangana.
But 19% vote, and the Congress party, which is wanting to reap a big bonanza in Telangana, if they are getting 10% from 50, 60, 60% popularity of YSR and having won majority of the seats in the state last time, I think Congress should be crestfallen. I think they can't go to sleep today. The Congress leadership will get a nightmare.
Why is this
I hope they are not watching. If they are watching, they will not get a seat.
I hope they are watching.
They won't get
Mr. Lahiri, why is this happening? Why is it that the party that went out of its way to create Telangana is getting just 1 seat in that area?
See, the creation of Telangana, some people will say, has been very political. So in 2000, when the BJP government created Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, I believe Sonia Gandhi wrote a letter that also consider Telangana. But that time TDP was supporting NDA. So BJP didn't take the move. In 2004, though the common minimum program had Telangana, the issue was YSR Reddy was the chief minister, and there was no problem. It's only after Jagan, according to some people, that what Congress found, that Seemandhra is gone, what
no, it was,
to
put
saying.
the record straight, it was a part of the manifesto in 2009 as well. It was a part of the CMP as well as the manifesto in 2004, and in 2009 it was a part of the Congress
But then it's purely a political gamble. Had YSR...
But this gamble, T.S. Sudhir, is not paying off. Why is it that the party that went out of its way to create Telangana, over the last 48 hours, when it is known that they are being able to push it through, gets only one seat in Telangana, Sudhir?
Well, Rahul, the Congress faces a huge crisis of credibility in the Telangana region, even though they have actually been instrumental in actually pushing, or some people in Seemandhra would say bulldozing the Telangana bill, especially in the Lok Sabha. They're not getting the credit for it, basically because they have been seen as a party which has vacillated on this whole issue for a very long time. Between 2004 and 2009, when Y.S. Rajasekhar Reddy was Chief Minister, he was known as one person who was not really interested in bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh. In fact, if you remember, in the 2009 Assembly and Lok Sabha election campaign, the moment Telangana region voted, the same day in Kurnool at an election meeting, he actually said that people will need a passport to go to Telangana if the state is bifurcated. So he had that very clear and firm stand. But coming to the Congress now, it's going to be a huge problem. Already we are seeing a lot of temples of goddess Sonia Gandhi being created in the Telangana region. Congress leaders like V. Hanumanta Rao or Shankar Rao, who is an MLA from Secunderabad, would hope that this is probably the route that they need to take to go to the people, to publicize that they are the ones who actually created Telangana and not just the Telangana Rashtra Samiti. But seeing these numbers, TRS and K. Chandrasekhar Rao would definitely be very pleased. They will drive a very, very hard bargain because they realize that they do not really need the Congress to be successful and even form a government in the Telangana, in the new state of Telangana. So in that sense, the KCR would want perhaps only an alliance with the Congress so that it keeps a door open for him to do business.
And he doesn't want to be another Chiranjeevi.
To power in 2014.
He had this huge clout as an independent party and then merged with the Congress, lost his identity and got subsumed in the larger organization. But Dr. Vivek, now that these numbers are being put out, which project a big chunk of the vote share and a majority of the seats for the TRS by itself, does that then mean that there is no real reason for you to tie up with the Congress in Telangana, sir?
I think one of the positive sides of this poll has been, it's clearly shown that people who have struggled and for Telangana and trying to achieve Telangana, they are getting the benefits.
If the Congress pushed this through, if the Congress hadn't done what they did, there would be no Telangana. Why do you think you are picking up all the seat share and nothing is going to the Congress despite their best efforts to create this state?
Yeah, because some of the leaders of Congress party, when I was also in the Congress party, but I could see that there was a distinction even in the Congress party between who was fighting for Telangana, who were fighting against Telangana. So people definitely felt that many of the people were not supporting. Only the Congress MPs were fighting for Telangana. Rest of the people were not fighting. I think that is the credibility crisis which is showing in the
results. Is that why, Mr. Hanumant Rao, you look so depressed?
The BJP vote share and the TDP vote share.
A new state has been created.
Will definitely come
you
down.
Could potentially be one of the senior ministers. You're one of the senior most leaders from there. I see no happiness on your face at all. Is this because you know that despite what your party did in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, you're heading for a rout, sir? Now don't force a smile. Tell me the reality, sir.
First of all, I want to give whatever Sudhir is saying. Sir, we are also gone to the people after Sonia Gandhi's CWC announcement. We have gone to 6 districts. We are not sitting in Hyderabad. And moreover, another point, Sudhir is saying a wrong thing. When 2000, we have started Telangana movement. 37 MLAs, we have put a signature, we have given to Sonia Gandhi. After that, we organized a meeting in every district. After that only, our KCR has come to the field. Up to that, he has not started a Telangana movement. After signature of 37 MLAs, putting for Telangana, giving Sonia Gandhi. After that only, KCR started.
You are saying Mr. Hanumantrao has nothing to do with our numbers. This is not a political speech. This is a shown in opinion poll, Mr. Hanumantrao, and the poll shows that you are not benefiting at all. Mr. Hanumantrao, the poll shows that you are being routed. The poll shows that you are not benefiting.
Definitely, every village.
You can't outshout me and hope that by outshouting me you will get vote share and seat share. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Because your analysis is different. We are also public life. Definitely, every voter, they will vote for Congress.
Okay, I want Veer Sanghvi to come in. Why is it, Veer, that the people of Telangana are not giving the Congress any electoral dividend for having created this state?
Well, because, Rahul, I think the Congress has been quite double-faced on this issue. In 2004, when they went into an alliance with the TRS, they promised Chandrasekhar Rao that they would support Telangana. He joined the cabinet. He was a member of Manmohan Singh's cabinet. People forget this. On the assumption that he would get Telangana, YSR, who was then chief minister, insisted that this guy was useless, had to be thrown out. They put him on the side. Eventually, he walked out. Now they've had to come back to him. It was part of the common minimum program, as Javed reminded us. It's been part of their manifesto. Yet they never did a damn thing about creating Telangana till they realized that they were going to lose Andhra. The moment they realized that they were going to lose Andhra, that Jagan was going to sweep, then Telangana has been for them a backup strategy. People are not idiots. They realize that.
Sudhir, is there a possibility that the TRS will still want to merge with the Congress or ally with the Congress because K. Chandrasekhar Rao can say, hey, I don't need you, I'm winning on my own?
Well, it's quite possible that he would not want to merge with the Congress now, because especially if he sees those numbers, he doesn't really need the Congress to actually form the next government in the state of Telangana. But having said that, over the next 2 months, what I would expect is that the Congress will go on a huge publicity overdrive. Yeah. They would want to get the credit for it. As Hanumantarao was pointing out, they would want to go all out to ensure that the people of Telangana feel that it is a Congress and Sonia Gandhi who has actually delivered Telangana. The effort will be to ensure that the TRS is actually pushed to a corner. The TRS is marginalized in the Telangana region, though it will be extremely difficult to do so. But the Congress would want to derive maximum electoral mileage, because this is something on which they have virtually written their epitaph in the 13 districts of Seemandhra. So if these are the kind of results that the Congress is going to face in May 2014, they might as well have just kept Andhra Pradesh the way it was.
Yes.
On a lighter note, the people would have, they got their yesterday's biryani from Congress party. They'll see where the next day's biryani will come from. People are very rational. They find Congress party is finished nationally. Congress party has nothing to offer nationally. So they are going to be out of national
veg biryani or non-veg biryani?
No, I'm saying they will simply not give them votes on a platter because they've given Telangana. People know they have always been double-faced. They've done this. They have done this.
Is the BJP going to serve India a veg platter or a non-veg platter?
This was a double-faced Congress party.
He wants to come up with an analogy, but doesn't want to take it further.
This was a double-faced Congress party. So they've done this only purely for short-term political gains. People know you can't trust them. Tomorrow for gaining something in Seemandhra.
So are you going to serve like a vegetarian Gujarati biryani?
In Hyderabad?
In Hyderabad? Is that going to work? Well, no wonder you're not picking up any seats.
People know the future of the country is going to be in the hands of the BJP. Shri Narendra Modi will be the leader, Prime Minister. They certainly would want to look towards the party, look towards the government in Delhi, which has their interest. Because BJP has been a long-term champion of the Telangana cause. So it's not a short-term political gain that BJP has really
what I want to do now... And you've been seeing this whole series. It's called So Sorry. We get fabulous feedback on that series, except from the netas on whom that animation is meant. So what we've done is got our animation team to actually do a take on these numbers, just to lighten things up a bit. So what we're going to do now is project the numbers, of course, are very serious. Project the national figures based on the C Voter weekly tracker. You've seen Battleground Andhra Pradesh, most of the numbers we've put out. Take a look at what the C Voter pollsters are saying would happen if elections are held across India today. And GVL Narasimha Rao is already rubbing his hands in glee. Let's find out if he has reason to do so. Animators having some fun with those numbers, but let's just try and make some sense of them as well. So this is essentially what Seawater is now projecting might happen if elections were to be held today. The Congress, along with its allies, from 259 seats of 2009, expected to crash to 102 seats. The NDA from 159 seats, there you can see Modi becoming happier with every passing month, now up to 226. That's the way things stand at this time. I want quick final comments from all our guests as we play out the big takeaways from the battleground Andhra Pradesh poll, and we'll start first with Ashok Lahiri.
Rahul, three quick points. One, we have seen regionalization of politics, and the question is, in Seemandhra particularly, if not in Telangana as well, are you going to see a Tamil Nadu kind of situation where you have regional parties
Correct.
which dominate, and the national parties can do well only if they have an alliance with one of the regional parties? And in Seemandhra, what looks like is YSR Congress and TDP. They're the main players. Second is BJP. So the BJP has not been a major force in Andhra Pradesh. On average, except in 1998, it managed to secure only about 6% of the popular votes. The only exception, as GVL pointed out, was 1998, when it had a seat alliance with NTR TDP, led by Lakshmi Parvati, and they contested 38 seats. And they got 4 seats and 18.3% of the votes. So how the BJP will fare in the coming election will depend on what kind of seat adjustment they have. And that brings me to alliances. We have talked about TRS merging with the Congress, but last election, after the Andhra phase was over, TRS leader Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao did campaign for NDA. Similarly, now we are already talking about YSR, TDP, who will go with the BJP, what alliances Congress will have. It's important to remember that the politicians are very flexible.
Correct.
What they say today, tomorrow they may have very good reasons why they have to do exactly the opposite. So it will be very important to watch what kind of seat alliances these parties have and with who.
GVL, 20 seconds, your final concluding takeaways.
I think today there is a huge opportunity for the BJP in the Seemandhra region, where Congress has made a virtual exit. And the entire organizational structure of the Congress party is completely orphaned, and they are literally abusing the Congress party today. So if the BJP, which has also championed the cause of Seemandhra, a lot of promises which Prime Minister made in the House today were entirely because of the BJP's demand for justice for Seemandhra. So and the popularity that Mr. Modi enjoys in Seemandhra, I think one big rally in Seemandhra, you will see BJP sprouting all over Andhra Pradesh.
That's of course if rallies translate into votes. We don't know that at all.
No, there will be an organizational base that can get created.
Javed,
I see an opportunity. Great opportunity.
Organizational base sometime in the future. Right now, it's a case of triumph of hope over reality. The Congress will be wiped out in Seemandhra, but along with the TRS, I believe they will have an alliance, and along with the TRS, with Chandrasekhar Rao's party, they will form the next government in Telangana.
Veer Singh.
3 quick bullet points. I agree with Javed. I think the Congress and the TRS will go into an alliance. I think they'll actually, with 52% of the vote, will sweep in Telangana. So Congress will do okay there. What the Seemandhra results show us is what we have seen in Delhi, what we've seen everywhere. There may or may not be a Modi wave. I'm not sure there is. What there certainly is an anti-Congress wave. Everybody who's winning is winning from a wholesale transfer of the Congress vote to Arvind Kejriwal, to Jagan Mohan Reddy, places where there is the BJP, to Narendra Modi or to the BJP. And the third important point is that we're used to politics where leaders used to make a difference. If Indira Gandhi was highly rated, the Congress did well. If Rajiv Gandhi was very popular, the Congress did well. We are now into a new era where people may think, 50% of the people may think that mostly vote for the BJP. In terms of Indian politics, it's an interesting and uncertain
what we're
phase.
essentially seeing is Andhra Pradesh moving from a Congress bastion to becoming the next Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And given the number of seats that Andhra Pradesh has, that's a very, very significant development. We're also seeing national parties beginning to play second fiddle to the regional parties. Now, whether this, like Maharashtra, will turn out to be a bipolar BJP Shiv Sena on the one side and Congress NCP on the other, or will it be a Bihar Uttar Pradesh type situation, we will find out. But that's it. We're out of time on our program tonight. I had a great time. I hope our viewers did too. We'll be back next Thursday with part 3 of the political stock exchange, another specially election zone, also focusing on the battleground states. We're tracking more intensively than any other channel in India, the numbers and the mood on the ground. Thank you all very much.